Hey guys, X here, and today we're taking a look at the Transformers Power of the Primes Dreadwind. You can find this figure and many others like it at Big Bad Toy Store. Just follow the link in the description. Giving you guys a little 360 of him. He comes with three things, obviously the figure, the gun, and then also this little chest little thing here, which I'll show you that here in a second. But giving you guys a little 360 of him. I like the color scheme of him. He's probably one of the figures that I was the most excited for, especially in Wave 1 as far as deluxes go. I do like the Dinobots, but this one's pretty high up there. Also, I want to get the Takara versions of this so I can have a Hydra and Buster variant, which I really like those colors as well. So, anyways, take a look at his gun. Looks, it's pretty nice, sleek looking. Then, I like all the different colors on him, so that's why I decided, pick up the Hasbro versions as well. Then, as far as this, there's a little gimmick here that if you have one of these guys already, you can take this piece out and you can take this, plug this here, and you have a little hole here, which pull that down and you can attach this to his chest. And yeah, there's that thing going on. So I think it's a little silly. I mean, it's obviously the gimmick that they're, catering towards the, the child. I don't know if you really call them collectors, but, the kids or whatever that like Transformers. So it's a new gimmick to cater to them as far as us adult collectors that are like, hey, I finally can pick this guy up and not have to, spend over $100. And, this is obviously something we're probably not going to do. This looks much cleaner and smoother, and I really like that. The other thing that, excuse me, that is really cool about these little things that turn into target masters, that you could actually put this in his hand, he can use that, and then have the gun in the other hand. So pretty cool. It's a little melee weapon, and as you can see that the arms and the joints here in the elbow are pretty strong, so it's not all dropping it and stuff like that. So all right, let's go ahead and cover articulation. I usually do alt modes first, but since this guy has, I guess, technically four modes, or maybe five whenever we get Darkwing as well. He got the robot, the jet, then since he can do the combiner aspect of it, he can turn into a leg or an arm. So we're going to go over the, the robot, then the jet, and then we'll get into the combiner ports in case you're, interested in that. As far as articulation, the head does rotate. One little thing to be careful of, at least on my figure, I found out that the head or the front of the face pops off pretty easily. It's not hard to get back on there, obviously. I'm going to get some super glue and just make sure it stays attached. But whenever you're transforming it the first time, mine came off. So it's something you might want to be just careful for. That way you don't lose it. But anyways, the head does rotate, has a lot of movement there. You have the shoulders that can rotate here. They can go in and out. You have the mushroom peg right here that rotates. You have the elbows that go 90 degrees, and then nothing in the wrist. You don't, or yeah, you do have something here in the waist. Legs back and forth on a ball joint, in and out. You do have a mushroom peg there in the thigh, so it can rotate, and then these can go 90 degrees here at the knee. Nothing in the feet, but you do have them kind of molded to where you can have a stance. They're not just straight up and down, so I do like that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the first transformation. We're going to get into the jet mode, so we're going to rotate the head 180, unpeg that, come all the way out and all the way up. And let me just make sure that we get everything into focus. So then with the arms, just come straight out with that. And you can see there's a little rotation here. You can see that you just unpeg there and bring this around. Do the same thing with this one, and then rotate that. And we'll just kind of put those arms out to the side. You can go ahead and connect the legs. Come up with this section here. And what you want is this to stay flat, and then this also stay flat with it. So you can see how they're kind of coming down. Just make sure you pop those up. And if you do it like that, then that'll make sure that you're able to close this bit right here. So once we've done that, we're going to unsecure this little peg from this wing and bring that around. You can see that there's a peg there and there's a hole there. Bring that around to where that can peg on top of the arm there, or that shoulder. Do the same thing with this one. Pull out, come forward, and we're going to just rest that on top of that peg that's on that shoulder there. Then with these arms, you can connect right there. There's a peg. And then you have one right over here. That doesn't seem to want to go in there very well, but come down with these back wings here, and there you have his jet mode, which I think this looks pretty nice, pretty solid looking. Some nice paint with the teal, same thing with here to kind of match what you have in the shoulders, a little bit of red there. You even have some silver paint here on the side of these kind of rubbery fins, and then the front nose cone is kind of rubbery as well, same material. But then you have the gray back here, so really a nice looking jet. I like it. I think we've seen this already in Combiner Wars, but I think it's pretty neat looking. Let me go ahead and put this. You can use the head again. You can put that in there, or you can just put this on if you want to. You can attach that if you'd like, and have it looking like that. It kind of reminds me of the G2 Starscream and Ramjet, where they had the little tanks. I think they had like 2 buttons as well, and they had electronics and sounds and lights and stuff. Then if you wanted to, you could put this gun in here and just make it look all kinds of ridiculous. But again, that's kind of part of the catering to the kids that want to buy these Transformers. As adult collectors that buy these, you're probably just going to, you're probably going to leave it in robot mode. But if you wanted a jet mode, you probably just, kind of look at it like this. This looks pretty nice. I like that. Or you could put the gun up there if you wanted to have a big gun. All right, so to get into the foot mode, let's go foot mode first. Going to pull those up, and then just remember we have this pegged into that shoulder, so just kind of, while pushing that down, kind of lift up on that, and bringing that around, and that'll peg in there. And do the same thing with this one. Just gonna separate those two. And these, I find parts have popped off, like these little wings have popped off, the faces popped off, the elbows have popped off. It's usually not that difficult to get them back on. So again, I think that's more catered to kids, that in case they break it, then it's easy for the parent or themselves to just pop it back on and no worries, Because I remember in G1, you break one of those figures, then that's that. So, all right, and with this section, pump that and come down with that into place, and then pull the feet out, rotate the head, and go back with it. Go ahead and close those feet up again, and then you come back with the wings. And there you have your foot mode. I don't know which way you would do it, this way or the back way. So I'm not really big into the combiner aspect of these. So, but anyways, that's the way it would look right there. Now, if you wanted to do the arm mode, what you would do is go ahead and disconnect the arms right there, and go ahead and come out with the legs, just like you're going back into robot mode. With the legs, just make sure that these little square tab things, these little notches, whatever you call them, that they're down. That way you see that peg there, and there's the peg there, and there's a hole there. You can connect those in there, so that is secure. Every time we looked at promo shots of these things, the Hasbro guys, they always had always forgot that part. So they always were mistransformed. It looked kind of weird. All right, with this, then you're going to pull these forward, and with the arms, come up with this, rotate that, then rotate the arm, so you can bend that back. Do the same thing with this one. Rotate this up. Turn that. Rotate the arm, and then come back with that. Just gonna rest those back there. And I guess you would turn the head. There goes the face again, but have that like that, and rotate this. Then you could turn this into a hand. Let's see, what are we going for? Right hand. So come up with that, and then we have the thumb here. And you can attach that, and there you have a hand, or or arm, if you want it, which has some articulation moves right there. He rotates, and then this will rotate. So I guess not too bad. I guess I think he serves better as an arm if you were going to do a combined mode than he does as a leg. But let's go ahead and get this guy back to his robot form and put his face back on. Separate the legs. Go ahead and come back with these wings here. And there you go, buddy. You're not going to have to go through that anymore. And rotate that, and there you have him back into his robot form, which that's the way he's going to be on my shelf, because I think he looks pretty cool that way, and that's the only way I got room to display him. So not too bad. I like the figure. So I'm curious to see what the little combined form with Darkwind is going to look like, or Darkwing. I forget his name. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. That's what all you get there. Yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.